very good afternoon to each and every one of you, to the members of the press, the media, the automobile czars, the wizards, the cameramen, the photographers, friends and family. My name is Samir Koch and I'm going to be your host for this fantastic afternoon. And it is indeed my pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of Chevrolet. Always great to be part of a Chevrolet event in the heartland of Delhi, where the winters are at the onset. The weather is cool, but things are going to heat up out here because this is going to be a grand stage for something monumental. So without further ado, let's bring out the man of the moment. We're going to be generous with our claps now. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Arvind Saxena, President and Managing Director, General Motors India. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to you as well, Arvind. Thank you so much for making me part of this wonderful grand event of yours. This ramp is going to see something magical coming on it in a little while. But right now, we've taken the walk on the ramp. Arvind, the big day, a monumental day. How excited are you and what is next on the Chevrolet agenda?
Well, Indian customers have been waiting for a global SUV with American roots. And today we are happy to launch the Chevrolet Trailblazer. This is definitely a big day for us at Chevrolet India. In fact, Trailblazer is the beginning of our 10 new products that we plan to launch in the next 5 years. GM India's focus is on significantly expanding our product range, quality, and the entire purchasing experience for our customers.
Absolutely.
We are delivering on our promise. We are committing an investment of $1 billion in the next 5 years. Samir, this is as much what we spent in the last 20 years in this country. Now, this would really help us create more high quality, exciting and competitive product range that our customers want and the world-class customer experience that they deserve.
Well, wow, the big bucks are being spent and certainly is going to be grand. And it's brilliant because Indians are finally getting another taste of the American technology. Ain't that right?
Yeah, this is our primary objective. Chevrolet, being a truly global brand, is out to wow the Indian customer like never before. We have exciting new vehicles with striking designs coming to the market. Our goal is to meet and even exceed customer expectations. The Trailblazer, as the name suggests, follows no one.
Well, it follows no one. I'll tell you who I follow. I follow a swanky new SUV. So I got to ask you, Arvind, do you think somebody like me could own a Trailblazer?
Absolutely, Samir.
But I must also add to that I'm a very hard nut to crack. I need to know exactly what's in the car before I put my money on the hood of an SUV.
Well, I just might have someone who can do this job very well.
All right.
I would like to invite Jack on the stage.
Let's get him out. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming on stage Mr. Jack Opal, Vice President of Marketing and Customer Experience, GM India. Give it up, people. Keep those claps going.
Hi, Jack.
Thank you. Samir.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
So, Jack, you need to convince Samir with why Trailblazer is so special.
Okay.
And I'm very sure we'll end up selling first car today.
Sure, Arvind, that should not be a problem.
So I'll leave you with Jack, and I'll see you later.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Arvind.
you, Arvind.
All right, Jack, welcome on stage. Let's walk down the ramp and get closer to the peeps out here as I'm really excited once again. So, Jack, from all the buzz I've heard about the Trailblazer blazing its way into glory, I think it's the car for me, but I need some convincing. I need to be absolutely sure. So please allow me to bombard you with a few questions. And I must also add to that once I start, I usually tend not to stop.
Sure, Samir. But before we get started with the questions, I do need to know, what do you really look for in a car?
Well, to start off with, I am totally an SUV kind of a guy. To sit in an SUV, I feel kingly on the roads. Size of the vehicle always matters to me. The looks, to intimidate, to dominate. It's got to have luxury. It's got to have style. It's got to have comfort. Head's got to turn on the road. My mom's got to be happy. The lady's got to be happy. And the list can just go on and on.
Wow, Samir, looks like you've taken some cues out of Sherry Pa's book, but I think we can handle the questions. That is one long list. Well, I'm sure you've had a lot more questions, but let me start from the top. First thing you want is size.
Yes.
Well, the Trailblazer is a beast. It is big, actually the biggest and most powerful SUV in its segment, and it makes absolutely no apologies about it. Whether it's the furious torque at 500 Newton meters or 200 base horsepower on the truck, the Trailblazer has it all covered. It is going to be a benchmark on the Indian roads as the most powerful truck in the segment.
Well, that's a lot of power. It's a big tick mark on the power there, but come on, Jack, what really makes it special?
Good question, great question actually. The Trailblazer comes true with the Chevrolet heritage, more than 100 years of history. You know, the brand founded by racer Louis Chevrolet and General Motors founder Billy Durant back in 1911. And they developed cars that quickly earned the reputation for performance, durability, and unequaled value. And those traits remain true today for all Chevrolets and especially for the all-new Trailblazer.
Well, it certainly has been an era of excellence, but let's get down and dissect it further. Tell me more about this special Chevrolet DNA.
The Trailblazer and the Chevrolet DNA. Well, it was designed, developed, and manufactured as a global SUV that marries features, functionality, and style all in one single refined package. The exterior, it highlights, the highlights include the approach, the departure angles for the off-road enthusiast.
Yes.
The dramatic power dome in the hood, the dual-port Chevrolet front grille, all unmistakable Chevrolet cues. And finally, the chrome appointments, the LED limited tail lamps, and the dual-tone metallic roof rails all add to the premiumness of the Chevrolet Trailblazer appearance.
Ah, it sounds really exciting. I can tell you the streets of Mumbai are going to be raving if they see such a beautiful SUV. Sounds like a perfect vehicle for Mumbai, doesn't it?
Well, it actually is a perfect vehicle for Mumbai, but lucky for you, driving will be easier because it does not have the winters like we have in the north.
Ah, the beautiful Delhi winters at the onset right now. Does get pretty cold. And being a Delhi boy, I often remember those nights, those winter nights where it fogs up so much that you can't even see your hand in front of your face. Pretty tough driving with your head out of the window, driving with your lights shining on bright, trying to figure out the road. Is the car equipped to handle such situations?
Absolutely. Delhi driving will not be a problem anymore. Well, it's got projector headlamps, which is standard, but first in segment, we introduced projector fog lamps, so you've got both above and low level visibility, and a longer throw for those thick, foggy, but beautiful Delhi nights.
Beautiful Delhi nights. You gotta love them with those tasty beverages. Now let's talk about the interiors. How roomy are they?
Well, in India, buying a car is a group decision, and we understand that. We ensure that every Chevrolet product is a perfect family pleaser. The driver's seat will give you a sense of commanding position on the road that the SUV driver really is looking for. The interiors, the beige and black color, two-tone, the premium quality leather seats, everything completely redefined luxury.
A big tick mark on the luxury. That always keeps me going. Now, we all like the way our vehicle looks. It's very important to all of us, especially to me. Tell me about the looks of this vehicle.
Well, Samir, the Trailblazer is a perfect blend of premium materials, premium design, and style. The Corvette-inspired dual cockpit interiors. And not only does it drive like a beast, it looks majestic. Will surely get those heads turning, which was one of your questions when we started.
Absolutely. Luxury, heads turning. This is getting really exciting and really good. I like to own a car that turns heads. It's always a plus point. Now, as a 6-footer, the big problem you face when you get into cars in India, my next question is it as big inside as it looks from the outside?
Absolutely no compromise in interior space either. It has a huge cabin that adored, stylishly designed, comfortable seating for up to 7 passengers. And the most important, we can fit you on those long drives in the 3rd row as well.
On the 3rd row as well. Well, you got like 7 6-footers sitting in a car, sitting comfortably. But the question is, are they flipping their coins in the air to saying, hey, you lose, you're sitting in the back because it gets hot and stuffy?
I know exactly what you're talking about, but don't worry, we've got you covered there as well. With the Trailblazer, we introduce a completely dedicated second and third row air conditioning ports. And basically for you, what it means is there's no more lack of cold air in the third row. The dedicated air conditioning unit drives complete cold air to your third row, keeping the ambient temperature pretty much balanced throughout the entire cabin.
So it's looking pretty good. You got 7 6-footers sitting in a car, not bothered about where they're sitting. I'll tell you what, could be any height, my mom's not going to stop the back seat driving at that, whatever position she's sitting in the car. But I can already think of, great family getaways, great weekends to go out. Now, it's got the space, but when you got 7 people traveling out of the city, and women especially carry a lot of stuff, does the car have enough boot space?
As you would expect, absolutely it does. We kept your mother-in-law in mind because I know you have to go get all the gifts coming up for Diwali. But
she's brought them to me after about 10 years, so yeah.
Well, we've got you covered there. So you can carry as much luggage as you want, Samir. We've got the boot space and we've got you covered. It's got class-leading segment storage space. It's got a modular setup, so you've got seating for 7. You can take 2-4 configuration, a 5-6 configuration, and enough room to accommodate both passengers and luggage, or your camping equipment.
It's a big tick mark on the getaways from the city. Brilliant. Now let's get down to the fun stuff. I mean, when you're traveling in a car, which is roomy, which has got great air conditioning, what makes the ride even smoother is the entertainment system. Now, does it have a crack-a-lacking entertainment system which can make me groove for my move, if you know what I mean?
Groove for your move. Well, I knew you were a little bit of a party buff, but you know what? We'll keep you jamming in the car as well. Well, the Trailblazer, for the first time, introduces Chevrolet's MyLink infotainment system. This is the first of its kind in the Chevrolet platform in India. It's a complete infotainment system enabling you to connect through the internet, syncing on your phone, up to 80,000 stations around the world.
Wow.
And that will get you jamming in the car. But that's not it. The infotainment with a 7-inch touch screen completely is integrated with a driver information center, which not only tells you where you are, what you're doing, but also how you're getting there. A complete, ultimate connectivity on the move. And soon, we will bring it down into other Chevrolet models in India, but you get it in the Trailblazer first.
Yeah, sounds pretty fabulous. I can groove to my move, enjoy that wonderful ride. You got to come and join my techno party on wheels, buddy.
I look forward to that, Samir, but first, I'm going to make sure I get the invite.
First person to get so.
Good, I look forward to it. But you know what? I'm not finished yet. I wanted to make sure we understood really how much technology we've really packed into this Trailblazer and how much power are you really sitting behind on that wheel.
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Well, to add, the Trailblazer, it's an intelligent car. All around, it's an intelligent car. Intuitive systems, off-road driving experience. And for that SUV, the world-renowned 2.8-liter Duramax engine, a proven workhorse for the Indian roads. And that's what's really driving the power behind the SUV.
Fascinating. So what you're telling me is that the Trailblazer is powerful, it's good-looking, and it's intelligent. Sounds like a perfect candidate for a matrimonial ad, if you know what I mean.
Almost. So
Almost.
true.
A perfect partner.
There is no match for the Trailblazer on the roads today. It is the best there is on the Indian roads as it hits the market over the next couple of days. But you should decide that for yourself because, you may be more convinced if I reveal what it can do for you on those off-road tracks.
Off-roading, something I love in my life. What is that?
Well, on those off-road days, you're out in the pits, the vehicle is capable of traversing through 2.5 feet of water.
Whoa.
And that covers any terrain. Now, coming back to the roads in Delhi with the potholes and the speed bumps every now and then, renowned ground clearance at 253 millimeters all around. So, getting through the city with a comfortable ride will no longer be an issue.
Well, not just Delhi, Mumbai as well with the potholes, how I hate them and those speed bumps. And the ground clearance like that, well, sounds like too good to be true at that, Jack.
But it very much is true, Samir. It very much is.
Okay, blow my mind a little more. What else? What else does this car have?
Well, I guess, the car will not move till we got the transmission in it. So the Trailblazer, standard with a 6-speed automatic transmission, and driving no longer through any of the traffic jams will be a cumbersome task.
It's just getting so nice. I think I'm getting a bit of a crush on the Trailblazer. They're going to hold me back when this car comes out on this wonderful ramp in just a little while. Let's talk a bit about the safety features now. But now I'm sure that, Chevrolet is known to have the most stringent safety. Let me guess, you have dual airbags, ABS, ECS, and TCS like all other cars. Am I right?
Yeah, I think we've got all of those checked for you. But for a car that is so powerful, we wanted to add a whole host of new safety features because the Indian geographies are not only different, they're unpredictable. And we wanted to make sure the Trailblazer is always ready. Plus, like you mentioned, at Chevrolet, we don't compromise on safety.
Wait a minute. Let's hear it then. What is new in the safety department in the Trailblazer, Jack?
For that, you know what? I'm going to take you on a little journey to visualize your next trip to Khandala with your mates. Yeah?
I'm shutting my eyes.
Does that work? Good.
I'm shutting my eyes and visualizing it.
You're driving up, and just in case things could go wrong, we've got you covered on every step. To start, let's talk about the strong safety cage design, which gives, basically coverage on any kind of impact that you may have during this drive. What else would go wrong? Well, you're driving along and all of a sudden something pops in front of you and you have to brake in a panic.
Happens more often than not.
Well, the Trailblazer Panic Assist braking system senses that you've made a sudden move. However, delays and equally applies the pressure on all of the 4 wheels so the vehicle doesn't go into spin or go into a panic stop. And, so we've got the cage covered. We've got the sudden panic brakes covered.
Yes.
Next is, going through the funny ascents and descents, and the Western Ghats can be quite tough to drive through. So the vehicle is basically set up with ascent and descent assist, which means on those really steep hills, you can pretty much let go of your feet off the accelerator and the brake, and the vehicle will comfortably and safely maneuver itself on both ascents and descents. And to cover that last piece off, on those Western Ghats, I'm sure your heart pounds when you get to that little sharp, blind curve ahead of you.
Always, not knowing what's in front.
Absolutely. So the unique Corning brake control allows for, again, different levels of pressure to be put on the exterior and the interior wheels, which even at steady speeds will keep the vehicle stable in the lane and avoid any kind of slippage on the road. Now with that, you'll have yourself a safe but more fun trip to Khandala.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it in the beast. Now you've covered everything with regards to the safety angle, but just in case something does go wrong, what happens then, Jack?
Well, Chevrolet stands by its products, but more important, we like to take care of our customers, and there's no compromise on that. With the Chevrolet Complete Care Service, we've added to the basic 100,000 kilometer 3-year warranty, the 24-hour roadside assistance which you would be able to avail. We're introducing a 24/7 Trailblazer concierge service to help you in any situation that you may need help on, other than setting up a date for you.
Well, Jack, all I can say is that I'm almost sold.
Still almost. You know what? I'm used to the questions, but why? What's the resistance still?
Well, because, you've told me everything there is to know about the Trailblazer, but how can you know it without actually seeing it? You got to see it to make the decision, right, peeps? You got to see this beast on the road. You got to see it. Is that possible?
You know what, Samir? I think I totally agree with you. So I think without any further delay, let me help you make up your mind by actually seeing the prize of the day, the all-new Chevrolet Trailblazer.
I'm looking forward to it. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Here she is.
Some are born to lead the way, to steer their own course. versions. Turn dirt roads into highways. Challenge dead ends. Stare down treacherous trails. Some are born to make their own way. Introducing the most powerful SUV in its class, the Chevrolet Trailblazer. Follow no one.
Well, before I actually tell you what I feel about this car, I think I'm going to request all the photographers to come in front, please, in case you want the photo op, you can come in front. All the photographers can come in front. I'm going to request Arvind and Jack to kindly please stand with the car once again. This is the opportunity you have to take your photographs. Kindly come up in front. Right there. Alright, thank you so much, photographers, for coming down. Please get back to your place. Thank you so much. Well,
Samir, what do you think of this?
but what I think of it is that my mind is absolutely blown. They talked about the beast, and the beast has been unleashed in front of us. Okay, you talked about the looks, you talked about the way she, will make heads turn. You've talked about the way she
Hold on, Arvind, one sec. I've seen that look in his eyes with those questions.
Yeah.
I think we haven't sold it yet. He's still not convinced.
What, I've seen it. You've talked about the features, but can it actually deliver what you promised on the roads?
Yeah.
You got to know that before you buy something, right?
Well, Arvind, I would say yes, but you know what? We will prove it to Samir. And to prove it to you, what we have, why don't we get Hari Singh, 5-time national rally champion. A big round of applause, audience. Hardcore off-road enthusiast, and he will show you what this Trailblazer is capable of based on what we told you. So you get to see it as well.
So Hari Singh ji, let's hurry and do this. No, sir, you will do it. I will watch. say, that was by far the coolest thing I've seen in my life. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the Trailblazer. And I can say, you know...
So are you convinced, Samir, now?
I, sir, am totally convinced that I must have one. But, sir,
Still a but, Arvind.
what do I do here? There's one major question which you have to ask as a buyer. I'm sold on all of the features, the ground clearance, everything else. But the most important question, how much does it cost, sir?
Oh, let me show you.
All right, let's have a look.
So, Samir, the introductory price for Trailblazer is 26.4 lakhs.
Sir, I'm on board. I'm sold.
Welcome to the family.
Thank you so much.
And I
It's a
really
family.
look forward for your feedback on our experience with this new Trailblazer.
It's a family I'm not going to leave for a long time, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind. Well, Samir, now that you know the price, what I wanted to make sure is that you don't miss out on getting into a Trailblazer. First of all, the next 5 days, you can book the Trailblazer on Amazon and then have it delivered to you by one of our Chevrolet dealers in town. Samir, you must hurry. It is only available exclusively online for the first 5 days, right through October 25th on Amazon.
I'm a little confused. Wait a minute.
Always a twist with Chevrolet.
Yeah, it's like buying a car online. I've never heard of this before. I want to learn more about this sales, amazing Amazon sale process. Jack, I'm going to call on a guy who's got a great name. His name is Samir Kumar. Mr. Samir Kumar, Vice President, Category Management, Amazon India. Round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Samir, welcome.
Hi, Samir. You have a great name.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and especially good afternoon to you, Samir. I know you are here looking to buy a Chevy Trailblazer today, but let me start with congratulating GM for doing a great job launching this product. And your timing is perfect considering the festive season that we have around the company.
Yes.
So you're interested to buy a Chevy Blazer today?
I am. I'm totally convinced. Now, but the only question I have to ask you is it's very unusual to buy a car online. How did this relationship happen?
At Amazon, we are focused on transforming the life of consumers and sellers in India. And one of the key things is about we are consistently looking for how to change things, opportunities to fulfill the aspiration of consumers in India. This is a bold move that we believe ties into India's changing digital economy.
Well, I can certainly say it is a very big deal to click your button and purchase the car online on Amazon.
Yes, this is the first time ever that a car is launched online in India and exclusively selling on Amazon.in. We have a dedicated brand page for Trailblazer and customers can know more about the car and book it online.
Well, Samir, the partnership between General Motors and Amazon is a first of its kind. It's first of its kind for the auto industry in India. And the most important thing is it's first for Chevrolet dealers. But what I want to make sure that this is not possible without that true Chevrolet experience at our dealers. Yes, you can look at everything about the car, learn about the car online, book the car online, make a deposit online, but nothing is complete without our dealer partners and without you getting that true Chevrolet experience at one of our dealerships.
Definitely. It is a good example of how General Motors have built this omni-commerce strategy with Amazon by combining the strength of what an online and offline channel can do together.
You know what, Samir, we're really grateful for Amazon for joining us on this journey and on this new territory to market the Chevrolet Trailblazer on Amazon.in.
Thank you. The Indian e-commerce space, as you all know, is still in a very nascent stage. and it has a significant potential for innovation and growth. We believe growth is at an inflection point, and there's a lot of innovations to be done. For us, as we say, it's still day one, and we are just beginning. So I really want to thank you, Jack and Samir, for giving us the opportunity to launch this product exclusively on Amazon.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Samir. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, we really appreciate working with Amazon. It's an exciting launch, and it definitely is day one. And lucky for you, you have your hands on the first one.
Yes, I'm very excited to go online and purchase my new Trailblazer. Going to look for a bit of a discount from knowing this guy a little better on stage right now.
No discounts.
No, okay. Damn it, I was reaching. I was trying to get there. Now, I've got all my questions answered. I'm sure there are lots of questions within each and every one of you that you want answered. So, to start off the Q&A session, I'd like to call on stage the new VP of Communications for General Motors India, Ms. Swati Bhattacharya. She'll be out here to conduct the Q&A. And we'd like to welcome on stage back Mr. Arvind Saxena as well.